What's up, guys? This is Jimbo here from the Jimbo Slice YouTube channel. Today I got a brushless impact tool fight for you here featuring the DeWalt 887. These are all 1/4-inch hex quick connect. The Milwaukee Gen 2 2753-20 and the rigid brushless Stealth Force model R86036. All these have fresh batteries. The Milwaukee and the Milwaukee and the DeWalt have a 5.0 freshly charged, and the rigid has a 4.0. I don't have 5.0s in rigid, and I don't have 4.0s in Milwaukee, so it's not going to be perfectly even that way. In terms of specs, they're all 3-speed. I call the Milwaukee a 3.5 speed. These feature a precision mode in speed 1. They don't really talk about it in the rigid. The DeWalt boasts 1,825 inch-pounds of torque. The Milwaukee is 1,800, so this has 25 inch-pounds more. And then the rigid Stealth Force goes all stealthy, and we don't get a torque spec. These are conventional impacts. This is an oil pulse-driven hydraulic style impact, so you're going to hear the difference. It's not going to have that loud hammering. It's going to be a little quieter. Rigid says it has like twice more speed, so we'll see what happens. I have done a couple videos with the rigid here. It's hit and miss. It has a lot of feedback where these are smoother operating tools. These are their premium impacts, so these are the bee's knees, unless you go with the 1 keef on the Milwaukee. That's the newest one out, but it's the same motor and just a different chip in there that you can customize. Various settings. We're going to run through a couple different tests with this. I'm not going to declare an overall winner. I'm just going to tell you who won each individual test. Some of it you might be able to see, some of it you might not be able to see. So that'll be up to crew debate to decide who is the overall winner. It clearly might be red, it clearly might be yellow, or the orange might come out of the back corner and take them all down. I doubt it, but we'll see. Alright, first things first, we're just going to take a 3 3/4 inch construction screw with a T25 Torx head on it. We're going to be in there the highest speed for each impact. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the screw to set, and then I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to go into the full-on drilling of this. So we're just going to start, get it to set. Okay, so now we're going to go full speed into this now. Okay, so that was the DeWalt. Here's the Milwaukee fuel. Ooh, I think the DeWalt was a little quicker there. And here's the rigid Stealth Force. So, once I edit it, I'll put up the times for each of them. That's going to be a close call, but I think the Milwaukee was actually the slowest there. Alright guys, so for the next test, we're going to test the precision ability of these impacts in speed 1. And we're going to get them as flush as we can, and then I'm going to take a card and see which one catches. So the rigid is up first. We are in speed 1. Well, that was pretty good. A little bit countersunk. Okay. Now we're going to do the Milwaukee. We're going to do speed 1. Now the Milwaukee has that self-tapping mode that it'll ramp up and then it'll slow down and then it'll impact there. But we're just going to do speed 1 in precise mode. That's like perfect there. Now the DeWalt is a little bit differently, and you're going to hear that. Another notable thing is if you look on the DeWalt, it's a slide switch, where Milwaukee you just tap a button. I love that about the Milwaukee. I hate the slides, like on the DCD 995. It catches all the time, and you got to go from 3 to 1 to 2, back down to 3, up to 1. It's annoying. So let's see how this does on precise mode. Notice the delay in that. So, taking the card, I can tell you right now they're all, the rigid went the farthest in. Okay, so none of them are catching. The rigid went the farthest in, and the DeWalt and the Milwaukee are about dead even. So I'm going to show you guys. You can see the difference right there. That's the rigid that went in the farthest, and these are perfectly flush. So in terms of control, you're getting a little more with the Milwaukee and the DeWalt. The DeWalt has that delay, which is pretty cool. So onward and forward. Okay guys, so we're gonna do some smaller lags. I said what were these, 3/8 by 3.5 inch, and then they got a 1/2 inch head on them. So they're gonna go all the way down to this 4x4 here. Again, I'll show the times of who does the lag the quickest. We're going to start with the DeWalt here. Again, I'm going to set the lag, and then I'm going to really go into it. So the lag is set. Took the bit. We're in there good. So that was the DeWalt. Now we are in speed 3 of this as well. Here is the rigid. I want you to notice the rigid has a lot more feedback than the other 2 impacts. Here we go. Wow, that was really quick. That was insanely quick. So they handled that pretty good. So the last one we're going to do is the Milwaukee now. Now these aren't the biggest lags, these are kind of smaller ones. So again, we're going to be in speed 3. If I can get the, there it goes. Okay, ready? Alright, we're in. I think the, what do you periscopers think? I think the rigid went the quickest, then the Milwaukee, then the DeWalt. That was just me, personally. That's what I felt. I felt like the DeWalt got about 3/4 of the way in, and then it kind of slowed up a little bit. So, alright, I'm going to back these out, and then we're going to drill some holes. Alright guys, we're back here, and we have a 1.5" Bosch Daredevil spade. We're going to do these all in speed 3, and we're going to see what happens. And this time I'm not going to drill into my table either. So here we go. I'm going to time it from when I start the impact all the way down. That's pretty good. Kind of sluggish a little bit. Let's go to the rigid now. Did I tell you it smells a lot better in here today than it did yesterday? One thing about the quick connect on it, sometimes it doesn't reset on the rigid, or you got to pull it out in order to get the bit in. It's not always the nicest. I don't know if there's something stuck down in there. And then I was talking to the crew between filming. One thing to note, the rigid only really does well in higher speed applications, lower torque. When you go down to a lower speed, higher torque, it really struggles. So that's when you get the feedback where it does one of these. So speed 3, and we're off. That was the rigid. And here is the crew favorite Milwaukee Gen 2. Oh, and I'm stuck in there, aren't I? I was going to tell you guys something, but I forgot. I don't remember now. It's not a bit important. So, next thing we're going to do, we're going to drill with some speedboard maxes. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, I have a Irwin speedboard max, 1.25 inch, kind of a hybrid auger paddle style. It's a self-feeding bit. These things are great, but they require a decent amount of torque to get through, so we'll see what happens with this. And same thing with the Bosch, we're just going to go straight through. Well, that's pretty good. Pretty good. These went a little smoother than the Bosch. A little bit smoother than the Bosch. Here's the stealth force. That was really quick. That thing flew. And last but not least, we have the crew favorite Gen 2. Gotta edit that one out. There it goes. Pause. So the one thing I wanted to let you guys know is, I don't know if you can see from the cam with the rigid, but the impacts, there's less impacts, but they're bigger impacts. And you can really see, because you get more of an RPM with the DeWalt and the Milwaukee, where you don't with the rigid, but it's a bigger impact, so you're taking more a bigger turn than you are with these. So onward to the legs. What we're gonna do now is I have 10-inch legs with the T50 Torx head on. All right, and we're gonna nail them all the way down, and we're gonna see what happens. So this is gonna be the ultimate test here. I know you see this ugly knot going through here. We're going to just, on the back side, it's real clean. So that's where we're going to go. So again, I'm going to get it to seat. We are in speed 3, and then we'll let her rip once I get her in there. All right, so we're in now. All ready? That was pretty good, pretty smooth. Okay. I guess I could have left it in, but I don't think it matters. And then I'm doing a fresh lag for each impact. Here's the DeWalt's. Alright, we're in, and we're on. There you go. These are going in a lot better than I thought they were yet. Glassy. And then last but not least, we have our Gen 2 fuel, and this is in speed 3. All right, we're We're set, and we're on. And we're in. No effort whatsoever. It was slow. It really, you know, I want you guys to know I'm not biased towards each and one of these tools. All three of these impacts are mine. I just recently bought the Milwaukee, and one of the reasons I bought the Milwaukee is that self-tapping mode. It's just, you can't, nobody else has that, and it's really cool to have for certain applications. I've had the DeWalt for the longest, and I love that thing. I run it. The Rigid I bought back in January. I never really was a big fan of it, but after working with it today, it's kind of redeemed itself for me. They're all three great tools. If you're in any platform, you're not going to go wrong with any of them. Rigid does have a regular brushless version of these. So as you can see, they're all neck and neck. You're splitting hairs in seconds here. So thanks for watching with me, guys. When I edit the video, I'll put on some times for you, and you can have a little debate of which one looked the best. I think the DeWalt performed one of the more smoother ones. The Milwaukee kind of struggled a little here and there, but the Rigid really surprised me today with the speed. That thing was very speedy. You want a battery check, guys? All right. We're on 3 bars on the Milwaukee. Uh-oh. I got a battery. I'm beeping here. I don't know what I did. Maybe battery overheated? Yeah, I think I overheated the Milwaukee battery. Is that what that means? Overheated? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I don't know what's going on with that. We are at 2 bars on the DeWalt. No battery issue. Guys, that irritates me about the Milwaukee. I can't believe that pack overheated. And then here's the Rigid is still at full throttle. And this is a lower amp hour pack too. Where was it? Lower amp hour pack. And it's got full. So that really disappoints me with the fuel. The pack doesn't. The tool is warm, but the pack doesn't fuel. Oh, there it goes. 3 bars. 3 bars. So, alright guys, as always, thanks for watching with me. I try to do this as unbiased as I can. I'm split between my personal preference of liking DeWalt and Milwaukee. They're both great brands. So, as always, thanks for watching with me. Get on the TIA forum. A lot of great guys on there. Shout out to Periscopers. I got Mondo, Wigwag, Glassy, and then Tony Landon, I think, was on here. Comp was on earlier. Yeah, there's Tony. So I don't have the big screen like Dan and Eric have, but I've been trying to Periscope a little more with these guys. Great set of people on there, so get on that forum and talk to us on there. We're fun. So thanks for watching with me, guys.